another shootout for you. I know, a lot of shootouts, but hang on. We flip you around. I'm gonna put you on the chesty here in a second. We're gonna start casting, but here's what we're doing. Well, we're just gonna throw this guy just because we gotta throw this guy. My newest one. That's on that rod I put together. I have shortened it even more, but it's basically the big trout lure killer if you wanted to track it down on AliExpress. We've talked about it before. It doubled in price though. To get the big trout lure killer, you have to spend the $27 or $8 it costs, plus another like 25 to 7 to ship. So, yeah, Conquest BFS. Most of you guys know about it. But here's the issue today that I'm trying to get figured out. Because I'll be honest, part of me wants to buy a whole nother one of these just to take the parts and put on this guy. Because is it that big a difference, that bigger line guide and the ceramic bearings? Or is it make a big difference at the spools, and it's just like 0.2 grams lighter. So here's how we're going to get that figured out. Hang on. Here's how we're going to figure that out right now. Try to. So here is a stock. Well, it's not, nothing I own is stock. That's what somebody asked me. He's like, do you own anything that is not? They called it. They didn't call it customized or hopped. I don't know. They called it something. I'm like, technically, I guess no. So this reel has ceramic spool bearings, and let me see if I can get a shot to show you guys. If you can see in there, see that huge line guide. And so I was out here, I already did kind of have a little shootout with them, and I feel this one didn't really get any further, maybe a foot or so, but it definitely felt easier to cast. We're throwing this bait. We're not doing trout magnets, none of that. We got 10-pound line on this thing. We're gonna just undo the line and put it right onto the other spool is what we're gonna do. So we're throwing that little guy like 1.76 or 7 grams, remember, like a 1/16 of an ounce. So just to show you what this one does, the stock black knife, oh, and I guess I should have showed you guys, because if you guys, did you watch the reel test just did as a BFS reel arsenal, and he wasn't recommending this one because of the magnets. If you haven't watched my videos, and oh shoot, Paul from Fishing Discoveries also, you basically just take these little bitty 4 by 1/2 millimeter bearings that you can track down all over the place, and you put them on the first 3 deals, and it totally fixes the magnet issue. Now, they have a couple different issues, but it's not a big deal. And so when you do that, you're setting, the settings on both these reels seem to be like 1 past 3. So, you know, 3 and then 1 notch closer towards 4 is where they seem to like it. So I'm going to try to show you, if you're unfamiliar, first time you're watching me cast in a video, roughly right at the beginning of the street is 50 feet. It's about a foot into the street. Right in the middle of the street is 60. The other side of the street where you see that curb start to pop up again, that is 70 feet. Up onto the sidewalk, and on the other side of it's like about 80. So I'm going to cast this little bait, and we're going to see where it lands. And I cast down. So it landed short, about 55 feet. And yes, I've been out here, well, with this one, I did a quick little test, and with the other one, but I haven't done what I'm getting ready to do now. I wanted to bring you guys along for the ride. Let me cast this again. Well, hang on. Let me cast it again. It should go 60 feet. For whatever reason, I seem to be, did I hit that dial? Maybe I hit that, let me see. Go 1 looser. Okay, that's what I did. I hit the, somehow I must have hit that. I was carrying these out. Well, a lot of times I do more damage to stuff when I'm out here doing tests than if I just load it up to go fishing. And that is the only downside I've seen to this thing. It is more prone to get hit while you're just moving your stuff around. It's easy to get to, but also is a downfall for it, to where the Shimano Aldebaran, you heard me talk about how horrible it is, but you will not accidentally hit that or on the lingle. Okay, so right out in the middle of the street, take my word for it. It finally got there, and we got a, oh boy, I got something. Hang on, I got a fish. Now hang on. I was trying to reel it back and it got caught out here. Every time I do a test, people park their cars. Oh, I caught a license plate. Don't worry, this is our car. I can do whatever I want to it. Just don't cut my line. Hang on. Okay. Don't worry, we're not fishing with this line, not right away anyway. So while I'm out here walking, there's a crack out here. That's how I can tell there's a crack. You know, we're in Missouri. Show me state, home with potholes. Look at this road. Look at the surface. Look at this. It's perfect shape. It's actually in better shape than most places you'll find out in Missouri. But anyway, we're not talking about Missouri right now. Kansas City, KC, Mo area. How about them Chiefs, huh? Yeah, you guys, you knew them Chiefs was going to smoke them. Got a little late start. I have to admit that. They'll get you wondering sometimes, but yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, well, we're not stuck to anything. Now, instead of seeing what the Dark Wolf Ultra do, this and that, I'm going to cast this line out. Here, hang on, I'll show you. About as far as I can go, which is out into the street again, and then I'm going to pull all this line off. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Just you wait. Just you wait. I'm going to pull all this line off, and it is not even tied, stuck, or nothing. It's just on it. So now I'm going to take this spool out, and we're going to put the Dark Wolf spool in. Now I've already switched this, and I did some casting, and I don't know if I really felt that the bearings actually helped. And I'll show you what I did here. Because I also took the orange seal, that little lightweight spool about blew off with the wind. But I took the little orange seals off my original Black Knight 2, so that's what is in this. So we're going to put this spool right in here. So now we're basically, I mean, technically one spool is from this reel, one spool bearings from this reel, one spool bearings from my old reel, but you have everything that would come with the Black Knight, except you just lighten the spool by 0.2, right? So technically it should go further. I should be able to fill it, right? You would think. So we're going to find that out. And then if I don't like the results to that, we're going to go switch the other way, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And yeah, this is not, I've actually caught myself taking a reel out fishing before because I do it like this. And it makes it so much easier, and then sometimes even messing with the tape. Just when you have a spool with holes in it, you can accomplish so much out here testing. All right, so now we have the best of both worlds, right? We've got the lighter spool out of the Dark Wolf Ultra. We've got the extra crazy. Can you see that? Big, wide, nice line guide. Let's see what happens. I may have to readjust. Let's just check. I guess I should show you where I'm at. I've got just a little, I always like a little tension. I'm not like if you watch the reel test, or a lot of guys will tell you, just take out the side plate. No. I go just side plate, and then just the slightest little pressure. I want that, the lightweight baits anyway. I want it to tell that it's slowing them down just a touch, like 2 grams or less. Anything over that, then yeah, I don't mess with that like a half-ounce chatterbait on my half-ounce, on my bigger rods, it'll fall flat fast and all that kind of stuff. Because then you really start slowing, you'll actually slow down the actual reeling of the reel too. But I just want a little bit of control into that spool. And I'll talk about it here shortly. I did that on the, I gotta stop this, I'm gonna end up, everything's gonna blow away. I did it on my Calcutta Conquest just a little bit ago. I was out here practicing, and I got a slight breeze, and what's happening, like I was getting little backlashes, but I felt the tension knob, on this side, or the tension, not the tension knob, but this side, adjustment was where I wanted it. But I had that just a touch loose to where it had basically just taken away all the side-to-side play, but that was it. All I did was I clicked it one little click, because it has a clicker like this guy here, and instantly I could throw it harder and no backlashing, and I actually got more distance by having that a touch tighter. So it just kind of depends on the bait, the rod, everything into play. So I suggest, it's definitely the whole zero adjuster Daiwa thing Daiwa has going, that zero adjuster. No, that's ridiculous. Yeah, that's what I thought. Suburban, get on down the road. What is it? Oh my God, look at this. What's going on, guys? Neighborhood having a watch party or something I didn't know about? All right, here we go. Wind caught it. I watched it blow like higher than it should have went. But that first cast, I definitely was not impressed. Let's see. Threw down, threw down. I'm throwing down, hang on. I honestly don't think that 0.2 makes enough of a difference. Possibly, nope, right in the middle of the street where the other one was going. I think if this thing was a purple spool and you switched them out with somebody, I don't think they could tell you a difference. With this, 1.7. Now, if you get into a gram trout magnet or maybe try to go lighter, it looks like it's got the same, I can't tell a difference. I'll be honest, I cannot tell a difference. So in other words, I don't think if I put, let me see, I guess, how would I do that the other way? Okay, I could take, I don't know how I would do that the other way. I don't know, hang on. Let's do what I'm doing right here first. Until I'm for sure, whoa, hit the ground right before. So no, it's like right at 60 feet. That's where I seem to get with these rod and reel combo. This is 10-pound braid. Technically, if you're only going creeks and streams, you probably want to go 6 or 8 pound braid, then something like that. But yeah, it's lucky to be getting 60 feet with that lighter spool. So now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this trick for you guys, just so we'll see. And that's, I was out here casting earlier, so that, let me pull out of the road before it gets ran over. So you have to take my word for it. I can't tell the difference right off that. So now, here's what I want to do. I'm going to get this actual reel completely off here. I'm going to leave this reel on, I'm going to leave the line on this rod. It'll just make it easier and we won't have any interference with whether the rod came into play. So now, we're going to take, and I feel these two rods are about as close as you can get on the any two rods I have. The way the length is the same, the overall action and feel feels the same, but they could cast it a little differently. Because I actually feel the lure killer is a touch different in the tip, and I honestly think it casts even lightweight baits better. It's hard to explain. We'll talk about that coming up at some point in time. So now I'm going to take this because I was out here casting and I felt that I couldn't really tell the difference. Ooh, that purple spool looks good in there. Look at that. We just added a little bit of life to the Dark Wolf Ultra. Just a little. We didn't go crazy. That little bit. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I may have to order one of those just so I have a purple spool. All right. Whoo. I can tell you one thing. I get off work and I try to, like, if I could come out here when the sun was hitting me, I could get so many different little tests that I've been wanting to do on different, I better flip that around. I'm about ready to rig that up with the line all jacked up. And it was nice when I first got home, but I kind of get things lined up and I got that, I had to spool that up with line, different stuff. And then next thing you know, I'm out here with my hands freezing. Don't worry, spring's coming. I don't know when, but it's coming. Spring's coming. So now let me see if I feel that getting out here with, now we still have the ceramic bearings. So this is basically like if, say, you were to take away the, we'll see, does that big line guide make that big a difference? So we're throwing the Dark Wolf Ultra with the ceramic bearings and the heavier spool out of the Black Knight 2. And the settings are still, I guess I should have seen if I could turn that one down a notch. Oh boy, do I have to redo this again? No, we're not going to. We're just going to stick with what we got. So that thing's right on 3. Let me check this. When you switch the spools, a lot of times there's a little tolerance difference. There's better. There's better. Let me just get a cast and see what it does. Fluffed up a little bit, flew right out there. No problem. No problemo. Flew right on out there. I would almost I would almost, I don't know, you guys aren't going to believe it when I say that. I almost feel like this spool casts better than the Dark Wolf Ultra spool. It's the spool. That little bit of weight difference lets you cast, even though this isn't that much heavier of a bait, it actually lets it go better. It feels like it, I don't know, it is very hard to explain. I know with the 1 gram trout magnet, I need to come out here. I'm gonna wait for like a day when it's decent weather, and I may do the trout magnet again, but I don't want no wind. I definitely don't want cold hands, because the trout magnet casting is like a whole nother, oh boy. Okay, that's why it feels more free. We gotta go up 1 notch. 1 notch. But hopefully, I guess you guys are gonna gather what I've gathered from all of this, that I don't think that it makes a big, that I could feel that drug it down. Where'd it land? I let it go. It almost landed without an issue, but these things are working real good with these magnets, if I guess you can't tell. I'm got some wind. I don't know if you guys could tell by the way the stuff's blowing around. It's definitely not a, well, it's like what you'd have every time you go out fishing. There's always a breeze coming from some way, and it switches around. So yeah, it likes it way better in this setup when you go to the actual 3. But I'm not gaining any more distance, but when you go to that 3 on this, with this spool anyway, it just feels, kind of feels freer, but it really don't gain any distance. It's right out in the middle of the street, 60 feet. Yeah, right out. And it's kind of freed up. You got to kind of be careful, and yeah, if you hit too hard, it's like right on the edge right there, but here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go right. Oh boy, yeah, see? So no, that really ain't, I can't really say that you wanna put it there on 3. It's funny when you get to these certain weight of baits. One click, well, on a lot of these reels, even that, you get down to 4 grams or less, 1 click can like be the difference between, not necessarily bird's nest because I use braid, but like a bird's nest or no backlashing. And okay, there it went. 3, dang it. I thought I'd be able to see a difference. I honestly can't tell a difference. It's hard to explain, but if anything, I'd feel, does it make sense? It feels like it gets out there faster with this spool being a little touch heavier, whether it be in this one with the line guide. So I don't think the line guide makes a bit of difference. And they both have, that's with ceramic bearings. I will tell you this, that I found the stock bearings are super quiet and very good, but they are very bogged down. You need to spray the stock bearings on the Dark Wolf Ultra out if you're going to use them, and use like a Shimano or some kind of BFS oil. Okay, we'll talk more about those results, but I just want to show you this guy. This is basically the same bait, if you guys believe me. Remember, I weighed them. I think they weighed identical as that bait. So I was out here playing with this also, and I did spool it up, and I think I've got a little too much line. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm tempted to take a little bit of this line off. I may have went too far, but I mean, it works. But I don't like to overload a spool, especially on these. They kind of, anyway, it can be hard to get in there if you do have a backlash. So I'm going to show you where I ended up with this thing right here. Okay, I hit the freaking license plates again. Didn't quite make it to the middle of the street. We're about probably 53, 4, somewhere in there. Look out, old man. Where you going? Where you going all tough in your Kia? Get out of here. Come around revving up his motor. Not on my watch, buddy. No, I'm just playing. All right. And a Kia of all things. Oh, my goodness. I know Kia ain't what it used to be. They're gotten a lot better, but still, I don't think I want one. So old school. I'm gonna whip this one. I'm gonna let it have it. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. Wind caught it, but we landed probably 55 feet, and her car is right in the freaking way. If you can tell, the wind is blowing that way. So there was about 58 feet. Oh boy, I went right over a windshield. Don't worry, it's cracked anyway. Get off there. Oh boy, we gotta leave. I've got a leaf everywhere I go fishing with these little baits right here. They just are leaf magnets. I don't care. So I just wanted to show you guys that what we come up with in my testing. I'm going to walk you out and show you that one. Now, you'd have to take my word on the other ones, but just so you can, uh-oh, it's moving. It blew over the car, but it is, I kind of want to see for myself exactly how far. I'd say this old dog right here gets about, it's a couple feet shy, maybe 57 or 8, and the other ones are for sure getting 60. But that actually surprised me because I don't know. Well, yeah, for this bait, I know the Aldebaran, I was getting within a couple feet, I think, also on it. And I guess this spool is about the same as the stock Aldebaran. What's funny is I can't really gain much when you put that $50 spool in the Aldebaran. So it's just kind of out here testing, and hopefully you guys liked the video. I didn't really figure out anything other than they're so close you can't really tell. Oh, wow. The spools aren't exactly, like if you go to swapping spools around, the shaft lengths you get, their tolerances aren't exactly the same, so you'll definitely need to adjust that. But I don't know. I don't think 0.2 grams makes a big enough difference on a spool to tell, and I'm not sure, because this already has a pretty big line guide, and it's a decent distance from away, and these spools aren't that wide, if you guys can see my thumb, to where I don't think any of that is a big enough. I think the biggest thing that helped this reel were the bearings. I think you need, when you get down to these lighter, everything is smaller, stock stainless bearings that aren't sprayed out, and BFS oil, real light oil, some kind, will hinder the performance. But once you get there, they're pretty close. Same thing is, that's kind of why these reels are so good. The Aldebaran BFS, or this one, even with the stock spools, that they come with a little, awesome bearings. They're not maybe true, micro bearings, but they're pretty friggin' close, and they're just good. So if you had any questions about any of this stuff, let me know. But I got to get out of here because my hands are froze. I'm going back in the house, and when the weather warms up, I'm going to try to figure out, because I think, and you guys comment, some of you guys would even know more than me, because I have only been into the ultralight BFS stuff, I don't know, year, 2 years, however, not a ton of time. I've been into finesse stuff with the, I guess I'd call it light, medium light, or mediums, but throwing real lightweight stuff with, looking for rods with flex, not really into the true ultralight. But I'm starting to think that because the CU double is about the best rod, along with like this one's pretty good, I think sometimes that ultralight, a stiffer ultralight tip, is actually better for distance than these. These are probably better in tight quarters because you can reel up tighter and get more like a whip, with like the kastking Zephyr and this rock and roll. But like when I hear casting, overhand casting, I'm finding that the Toma, the CU double, and the this big trout lure killer rod seem to, I feel, get these baits just a little bit further, I guess easier, I'd say, than these other ones. Whew. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I got more videos coming up. And I'll talk to you later. I got to get out of here.